Tuning in again. I don't know what went on with the audio with today's recording, but like I said, smaller bumps in the road have been happening. Well, I said that in the first video, but you didn't get to hear it. So anyways, yeah, let's try to fix this, shall we? So I'm using my earbuds because right now I don't have the connection that I need to get a clear sound audio, and I don't want to scream at you. Okay? I don't really talk loud as it is, so you'll have to bear with me a little bit if you can't hear certain things, but I try to project enough so that you can. I hope you don't get a bunch of feedback noise from this contraption on my ears, but if you do, I'm sorry, okay? So, before we get started, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and put a comment. Let me know that you are in the building, that you've seen the video, whether it's the replay or whether it's the actual live video. And then also to make sure you're sharing this content out to other people who need it. Now, what we're going to be talking about is what you want to consider before you... Hold on. What you want to consider before repairing your credit. Okay, these are things you're going to be wanting to consider before preparing your credit. You don't want to just jump into something and then start challenging stuff, and then you start waking up old stuff, and it can really hurt you. And so let me give you some of those things. Now, number one, I'm going to say this. Number one is your identification. You make sure there is one name, not 5 names, not 7 names, not 10,000 renditions and spellings of your name, just that one correct spelling of your first and last name. You need one birthday, of course, one social, one address. You'll see, if you look on there, you'll see you got plenty of addresses. Most of y'all got plenty of addresses. Get that wiped off and put your most current address that you currently live at now. Get the rest of them removed. Employers, same thing. You shouldn't have 3, 4, 5 employers listed on here. Get it down to either one, or I recommend taking them all off. Okay? So get the identifying information done. Did I get anything else? Okay, thanks off with that one. All right, so number 2, concentrate on entries that are less than 2 years old. Those are the ones that's going to be hurting your credit the most. Those are the ones that's really taking off the points. So you want to focus on those and getting those situations rectified, those accounts rectified. But instead of waking up some old accounts that may be about to roll off soon, that you even woke back up and got basically restarted over, in a sense, by trying to mess with those. So you want to, and plus, and honestly, just leave them alone, honestly, because they're really not doing much or anything at all the older that they get to your credit. I mean, yes, it does look bad, but that's just not the first place you want to start, okay? All right, so that's number 2. Now, number 3 is duplicate items. I see this a lot with student loans, but I'm pretty sure there's some other things as well that can do the same thing. So say you had a bill with Verizon, right? And then Verizon sold your debt off to a collection agency, but both Verizon and the collection agency are both showing that you both owe them the same amount of money. That's a duplicate item. You can only pay one person. So either Verizon want their money or the collection agency is going to get the sale. Now, if you can call back Verizon and pay that off with Verizon, I would recommend that you do that, you know, instead of calling with the collection agency, because that can speed up the process as far as getting everything off. And then you can always go back and challenge that collection agency. But like I say, it's a duplicate anyway, so you're already going to be able to challenge that. So yeah, you can do that and get that off. Those are just another way that you can get some stuff off, removed really quickly. Now, also your credit card limit. Yeah. So with the credit card limit, it's this thing where these companies, you're customers to them. They make money off you. That is what they're there to do. Yes, they extend credit lines to you, but they charge you interest. They charge you different fees, you know, like that APR you may pay. So this is what I'm saying. Make sure they're reporting the correct credit limit on your credit report. Sometimes they won't have a limit at all, and sometimes they'll have a limit that's just not what your correct limit is, and you can correct that information. And the reason being is because they really are trying to deter other companies from being able to move in and take you on as their customers. They don't want you to leave their company. You are there for them to make money. So anyways, you can fix that. That is an error that can be fixed. So if you see that on your credit report, you know, go ahead and try to get that corrected, right? All right. For my people with credit cards, if you have credit cards and they are not down to 2%, then you're wrong. I'm sorry, but if you want to see that credit boost and want to make sure that that credit is continuing to go up instead of going up, down, up, down, keep your balances at 2%. Make sure they're paid by the statement date, not the due date, the statement date. If you need to, call your credit card company, say, hey, what's my statement date? They'll let you know. Then, you know, what I do is I schedule my payment up to 7 days before my statement date, just in case, because some people kind of report on the same day every month, kind of, and then some companies, it's like within a week or 5 days time. So I back mine up a couple days before my statement date so I can try to be sure that it's actually going to hit that statement date. Now, once you do that, I set mine up on automatic payment. I definitely encourage you to automate all of your bills or as many of your bills as possible, so that the money, all you have to do honestly is just concentrate on putting the money in the account and making sure the money is available, so that when these companies pull these payments for you, it's keeping your payments on time, it's keeping your utilization low. And like I said, that's 35% of your payment, of your credit is your payment history, and then the other 30% is going to be your utilization. So you're already looking at what, like 65% of your credit score should be going in the right order. All right, which brings me to my next point. Pay your bills on time. If you have a couple late fees, or you were late one time or something like that, you can get those lates removed. It's called a goodwill letter. You can write those up personally. I would honestly personally write my own one available. Of course, you can always look online and see, how it's kind of set up, or you can reach out to me and I can also help you with that. But it's called a goodwill letter, and basically you're asking for forgiveness for this late payment that came through because you really honestly do not feel that it represents your character as far as making your payments on time. It may have been due to an unfortunate circumstance, such as a loss of job, or maybe a death in the family. It's something that would allow you to have to use out excess funds somewhere else where you may not have been able to make your payment on time. With that being said, you can mail that letter off. Like I said, 1 or 2 lates. Sometimes they'll go ahead and remove those. If you have like a bunch of lates, you can pretty much forget it. Now, if you are one of those people who's like, I just lost my job, you can actually contact your creditors or anybody that you actually have bills with, and you can actually tell these people like, hey, I just lost my job. I foresee that it's going to be kind of hard, or I'm going to maybe go through a little bit of a financial struggle. I just wonder if there's anything that you have in place that we can negotiate on as far as a price, monthly price, that I can continue to be your customer, but also too, I can afford what I have. And they'll work with you because, like I said, these companies don't want to lose you as a customer. You are the way that they make money. All right. Make sure you have a mixture of accounts. What I mean by that is you want to make sure you have revolving accounts. You also want to make sure you have installment accounts. Now, revolving accounts are like lines of credit. Okay. That's also credit cards. Okay. Anything that you're going to pay off and it's going to start over again. That's going to be a revolving line. Now, an installment is like a loan. So that's like your student loans, your car loans, your mortgages, any type of personal loans. Those are going to be installments. So you want to have a good mixture of those, because not only does it make up that 10% I was telling you about, but also too, it's going to help you and increase the more accounts you have. It's going to increase the bumps you get with the payment history, and of course with your utilization if you have the revolving credit, keeping that low and making those payments on time. So that means you can actually have multiple accounts that are reporting in your favor, giving you some real good bumps up in your score. Okay. Word to the wise: closing credit card accounts, your score is going to go down. So if you have a credit card and you're like, should I just close my accounts? The answer is no. Pay the card down, get it down to the 2% utilization rate. Use the card. I don't know, buy you something cheap at the gas station when you're there, or maybe get you a tank of gas and just, pay that off. Use your card. It's there for you to build your credit. You're in a credit-based society. However, you do have to have cash. So what that means is you can't just have credit. You can't just have cash. You got to be able to balance the both of them. And that's the whole purpose. So please do not close those cards. Okay. If you have collections on your account, okay, and they're less than 2 years old, you can do what they call and let this be after you challenge this debt first. So challenge that debt first and make sure they can actually substantiate that it is indeed your debt, first of all. do that first. And if they come back and it's verifiable and they've been able to verify everything and you're like, oh, I'm just stuck with this, so I got to do something, call the companies to see if you can negotiate for what they call a pay for delete. Now, sometimes they'll take a little bit less, but most of the time they do want the full balance in most cases. And then get that in writing. Get that in writing before you actually make your payment, okay? Before you make any payment, you get that in writing. Once that is in writing, then you fulfill your end of the deal by making the payment, and then therefore you can let them know, hey, I've done what I need to do. Now it's time for you to do what you need to do as far as taking this off my account. If they put it on your credit, they can take it off. So don't let anyone tell you that they can't or that you have to go through the credit bureaus. No, you don't. You can go through them. They can do it. If they put it on, they can take it off. It's just as easy as the phone call or the fax that they sent over the first time. So with that being said, that's going to be it for this particular video. I'm going to try to dump out a couple videos, guys. So yeah, be just on the lookout for that. Like I said, I don't know what happened with the audio earlier today, but I'm hoping that this one is going to actually upload and do fine. It's going on different platforms, guys, and so I don't want to say this, 10 times. So I'm trying to get everything together and see if maybe doing these live replays will make it a little bit better, because right now, like I said, it's just been some bumps along the way, and we're just trying to iron out as much as we can. Okay, and this way also too, I can try to make sure I'm getting you the content that I would like to get out to you guys and getting you the information out. Okay, so if you enjoyed this information, make sure if you're on my YouTube, you're subscribing and hitting that like button. Leave a comment no matter what platform you're on, and if you can share this information, share this video out to other people who need the information, maybe would like to know this information, or maybe they just said, you know what, I would really need to get my finances together. This will be a good video for them to start on, so that they can do just what they say they can do. And you know what, if they're really about their money, they're really about their paper, they'll take the information and they'll use it. Now, I hope y'all had your paper and your pens, because I know sometimes I tend to speak a little faster than I need to, and it's really because it's so much information. I just really kind of excited about getting it out there, and sometimes I get a little ahead of myself with my tongue. So anyways, all I gotta say after that is the very end, actually, is that is basically, if you plan and you apply that plan, I promise you, in the end, you will win. Peace.